Okay, we are back to do the live. Bear with me. I'm trying to quickly set up. We're very strapped for time at the moment, and I think all of us are going through that. But I do have some bookings this morning. And due to the fact I was moving, they disconnected the internet well prior to me moving, which was not the agreement. So I was unable to do the Gemini and the Cancer. I do have it connected, but I'm still in the process of moving and shifting things around, which I think all of you guys are. My time tonight, 8 p.m, I will be doing an update for the moon energy as well as the collective energy of what's been going on. And tomorrow morning, I will do the Gemini video, which will then get everything back on track. We still have the twin flame videos, which again, it will be Gemini and Cancer I will need to do again, and I'll do those live. So I'll try and get on top of those as soon as possible. Now, if you are wanting to make a booking, go to the link and be quick because I've got a special up at the moment, but it will be discontinued this week. So if you don't get in, you will not get the hugely discounted deal. Now, the energy that's coming through for Cancer is very interesting. You know, past tense, it may have been that you guys were really focused on a love interest, the things that you were passionate about, as well as your own personal energy, you know, really coming into your own energy. And you're reflecting back on the past of how you used to be. I feel with this energy, you're almost looking at it like some of the situations were out of your control. Some of it was not of your doing where you became a different person. You do feel as though perhaps your kind nature was taken advantage of. And you had a cup you offered. At the same time, I do feel you offer a lot, but only to those that are worthy. But in the past, I do feel as though you guys were offering quite a bit to people that weren't worthy of that energy. And you've really been doing a lot of reflection. Now, I would not be surprised for the male energies of Cancer, because I do know collectively that the masculine energies in general have been going through ascension symptoms. So this may have been you being unwell. It may have been you feeling quite fatigued and burning the candle at both ends. Now, the clarification card you got up, it's interesting because you thought everyone would react the same way you had. Diversity supports individual freedom. Now, you got this card in reverse. And the interesting thing is the number breaks down to 11. And this could be with the feminine aspect of your quality, be it your male or female, the emotional body energy of who you are, your demeanor, was taken advantage of in the past, okay? And again, I'm feeling you're reflecting back on that scenario. Currently where you're standing, you're feeling pride comes before a fall. You're having to look at certain energies around you, and this can be with external people. It can be with your belief systems of how scenarios were going to go. Again, a lot of meditation on that, and I don't know why you guys at the moment feel like you're quite up in your head. I'll just check if the chat's on. Learn more. No, I don't want to learn more. Well, I do, but you know. I think the chat's there. Live chat messages, all visible. There you go. Okay, so in the past, you were reflecting on your behavior. Hi. Currently, where you stand, you're reflecting on people's natures where you know, pride comes before a fall. That's what I'm hearing. So it's like, okay, looking at a situation in the 3D, knowing that it's really different. Hey, Jen. My every thought is attracting its vibrational essence. You're wondering how on earth, like you've learned something, okay? You've purged something. And this moon energy for everybody is going to be very unique. It's very intense energy at the moment. Like I said, the Gemini energy that was coming through, you were in two modes. Now, those of you who have gone through an aspect of your awakening will be more in the energy of, gee Louise, we're getting so much done, more than you have in the entire 6 months of this year, really cramming a lot of tidy up into a very small pocket. Now, don't get disheartened if that's not what's happening. It's a purge that you're going through in order to transition through. It may for you guys start more of the Sagittarian full moon. Now, it's landing in the, you know, Jupiter energy with expansion. So with the energy coming through of this energy that you're coming back with. You're coming back with a fight. You know that you've got to put the work in to achieve something, and there is a lot of work that you are doing. Now, again, with the moon coming up on this card, we are already vibrationally feeling the energy of the eclipse season. And some of the videos I've looked at and researched, what you do tend to find is way back to 2001, and 18 years ago and 9 years ago we're looking at, we had the frequency of the Cancer Capricorn energy coming through. So for all of us collectively, and especially Cancerian, your sign, lots of changes are happening, but it's all these old energies coming back to be readdressed. We are in a 2-year phase of eclipse season. That's moving through to 2020. So not necessarily do these energies come through only on the eclipse month. You do tend to feel them the entirety of that time frame, which is 2 years, reflecting back to the last time it was, which was potentially 18 to 9 years ago. So those subject matters are coming up for reflection. 40 days before an eclipse, you will also feel the frequency of that energy, of a purge, of a change, and those subject matters coming back to play. So you'd really need to look back as to what areas were coming up. And I did read an interesting comment on a video the other day, and the person said, well, I'm not in a relationship, so that doesn't relate to me. It's not just connected to relationships, guys. A purge and a transformation and a change, and especially for Cancerians this month, if your relationship is not in balance, and that's collectively connections, things are going to come crumbling down. Now, twin flame energy will be different. There can be problematic energies in there, but the video will be done separately. But at the same time, what's not meshing and merging and what was unfinalized will be coming back into play to be looked at. Moving forward, you're wanting this fresh start, and this is what is on the cards for you. So this fresh start is in fact coming through, but you're putting the work in, you're doing a great deal of reflection. A lot of people are needing on you, but you're walking away from people who are not deserving of your time. And it's interesting because your clarification cards are coming up in reverse, so you've really purged a cycle. Now with this fresh start, you have this card in reverse. I'll not ask others to become different from me. Okay? Hi Rachel, how are you? Now, this fresh start, it's like you're accepting who people are. You've done this assessment. You've realized what your nature is. Potentially, you might have in the early stages been in victim consciousness, but not because you were a victim. And look, we all are in life at some point. But when you reach that awakened state where you do that reflection, you look back and say, okay, that person did this scenario happened to me. You then look at it differently and say, was I a bit too trusting of these individuals where they were not worthy of it? And potentially, did I have a self-worth energy going on where I allowed people to do that to me? I feel somehow you guys have changed, but it might be that you're a little bit angry at yourself. But again, the energies can swap, okay? But I am feeling as though this reflection of the past, you can't go back, right? But at the same time, you're looking at it going, I see who these people are now, and I've compartmentalized these situations to understand it. And it's really, when you're going through the ascension symptoms, you'll have your third eye ego going on because you're processing scenarios. So this processing of the scenarios that you've gone through is the 7 stages of healing. It's like healing through the third eye. I do feel this, you're gaining clarity by the end of the month with the expansion center of what you want to actually grow, what you want to put your energy into, and what you need to end. And with the retrograde cycle, this is what's coming up for everyone collectively, but you are very much in your consciousness about these things. With your financial sector, you guys might feel semi-blocked at a financial level. You wish you had done things differently, but you're doing all you can for the here and now. You're coming back to the here and now. What is blocking you is there's too many ways this scenario can go, okay? At work, you're moving towards something, but you feel external to the employment domain or work domain, whatever you're working on, there is a dynamic going on that potentially could change all of this, but by focusing on that, that's going to hinder you. So try and release that thought process. And I've mentioned this in manifestation. when you manifest, you are quite in your third eye, right? And Tesla talks of this, but I feel he had his ego removed, where he had the higher consciousness of being able to manifest without allowing the third eye to block the manifestation. When you're thinking on too many ways this can go, what you're doing is it sets a pause in motion. So if you're trying to attain employment, it sets a pause because you think there's too many ways something could go. You're focusing so heavy on the blockages in the path over what you feel vibrationally you're entitled to. Once you reach that purge cycle, what's going to happen is things will alchemize very quickly. What is working for you is taking a mature approach and doing all you can on your side of the fence without tuning completely into what happened in the past, what potentially could block it, what other scenarios could come at left field to prevent this flow going on with work. So I do feel, again, the third eye, and definitely with your crowning energy going on, you're thinking of how things can go, but then you're coming back to your core sense and you're really anchoring your energy in, which is perfect. Keep doing that. That's really what's going to help you. I do feel this is a temporary energy, but I feel you're battling in your third eye quite a bit of how these other scenarios are playing out. Financially, you're very goal orientated, okay? You have a big plan in mind. You may, however, be focused too much on the financial side of things. Again, that can be a blockage. And I'll pull a chakra card on that. I feel there could be external to you, and this could be an ex. It doesn't have to be, because your blocked energy is sweetheart. So it can be money going to another area. That both, potentially, if you're in a partnership, both parties may be working. Both parties may have money that is going in a particular direction and it's causing conflict. Both of you potentially could be discussing this and it could be causing conflict. That is the block at the moment, because both parties want equal energy. Those of you who are single, I do feel it could be an ex where the money is going to, and you do feel semi-blocked due to this. So it might be alimony, child support, old bills that are coming up that are causing issues. But again, the interesting thing is the thing that's working for you guys is not being in sorrow. You know, really taking accountability, looking at things and looking at how they're coming through to you. Because with this sweetheart energy, either a current partner's belief systems, your belief systems, you're communicating about it. So although it's blocking you, the key is to continue the communication and keep the communication open and hear each other's perspective. Working on the foundation financially of what's not grounded, keep plowing through it, because I do feel you're going to get to the other side of it. It's just a temporary delay. All these dreams are being worked on. And the correction of the foundation I'm hearing. Yeah, you're in your third eye. So you're looking at various ways, and this is what the lag is. And this is what I said previously in your crowning energy. You're really tuning into ways these things can go. Getting caught up in it will cause conflict. I'm seeing you doing that, and then, you know, having too much to do, so you're having to come back into your core energy again and proceed forward. It's going to help you to continue. Your tribe. Some of you might be quite frustrated. This can be with people around you. It can be with family members. It could be with children, you know, co-parenting, etc. In general, people that you're working with, you're hoping that something's going to come about. You're hoping that something is going to be fortunate. But I do feel the area that's blocking is this crosswise of communication. And again, that really came up in the financial sector of where this money's going to. So this could be a past tense person. This can also be a current path. And I'm seeing two roads with differing views and various ways the situation can come about. What is blocking you is something's not working in this situation. But what is working for you is focusing on what is abundant. So I'm going to pull a clarifier on this. Not those cards, these ones. Okay. What is the advice for this blocking energy? Okay. You're trying to focus on your new path. there might be crosswise with what this energy is. So potentially this could be an ex, right? Those of you who are dealing with an ex with co-parenting, there may be differing views. Okay, things are going to come to an end, and this could be the lag at the moment. Is that I keep seeing two paths being worked on, and differing views between love and work. Now, you coming through only focusing on what is good for you, using your intuition, using your higher consciousness, even if it is in the early stages of it, and this could be towards children as well, especially with the page energy coming through. It can be younger energies of connections you're directly connected to. Yes. Okay. Again, there can be a male energy that's younger that you're quite concerned about for some of you. There can be a child energy for some of you that you're concerned about as well. Again, for those of you that don't have children, a lot of pain body experiences coming through where you're looking at different situations around you, but you're also coming back to yourself and you're going, wow, this is really triggering a childhood memory for me, a childhood frequency. And it is causing angst within the situation. But there's a lot of processing. Most welcome. There's a lot of processing during that, and it is causing a lot of a purge, okay? It's also making you feel like you're reliving that energy and you don't want to, but there is a change coming with that. But I feel this is really, the interesting thing is just tuning into your tribe energy, you know, family, exes. There's so many ways this can go, and it's really dragging on your spiritual sense. You know, when you see the sevens, and you've got a few sevens here in this area, both of these cards are sevens. It always says, go into your spirituality, you know, and understand that it could be driving you batshit crazy, I'll just say. It's triggering you, but you're trying to anchor your energy in, which is really oozing through your reading. But the interesting thing is tribe is coming through and family is coming through as a heavier energy than any other energy on the table so far. So I feel this is a real blockage in your path at the moment. Okay, now, when it comes to your romance domain, internally, you're feeling as though, you know, is there ever going to be this new start? When is this going to come through? And this is what's going on inside you. Again, remember what I was saying, third eye. When we're looking at things and we're thinking of too many ways the situation can come about or what the blockages are, we're directly purging, therefore we're directly blocking, okay? And that's an internal thing we can work on. So if you can work on those areas of releasing things, and, you know, just because something old is coming up for you doesn't mean to say you haven't healed. When it comes up, it's noting that you're recognizing it and you are to then operate from a different channel and look at it differently. It still can trigger you, but at the same time, when it comes to this romantic domain, you're thinking something's old and you're wanting that fresh start. But you potentially acknowledge the fact that your need is that new start, but inside yourself, you're saying, is it always going to be the same? While you're in that go and back and forward energy, it does tend to delay it. Once you detach because you've literally thought about it every way, it then gets to a point where you release it and then it starts alchemizing. So it's for you to have the meditation time. Again, there's 7 people watching the video that are noted at the moment. Now, your external environment. Okay, you really, something in a sense of good karma is coming back to you. There is a recovery. There is a healing going on at the moment. You're accepting situations for what they really are. You do accept this person for who they are, but you want to have that sense of acceptance. There is something on the external that is yet to end. You're waiting for that. Is very near. It's very frustrating. Even if you're not talking to certain individuals or you're not having the communication spoken to in relation to this ending, on the external, it is actually coming. But while you're thinking of it, you're assisting with manifesting that blockage. They physically are really unsure. And again, this generally happens because of your energy going on, because we do send signals to each other vibrationally. So where you're wanting this fresh start, they're like, yeah, but vibrationally, if you're thinking of various ways this can go, there is a delay. They're wanting this transformation too. they're going through the transformation, and that's why the pause is there. They know that situations are based on falseness. External, they've got a lot of stress in their environment, and it potentially could be connected to their childhood, connected to an ex, somebody that they're not currently with. And again, it's like this umbilical cord of tying up of a karmic energy. You feel some of these situations are outside of your responsibility, Cancer, okay? And the energies can go vice versa. But this is what's coming through at the moment. Your counterpart's energy is they're trying to alchemize something, but they're going through ascension symptoms. While this is going on, it's giving them the clarity. Even if it is keeping them in a similar vibration, it's so that they can purge this cycle and change. You've got the Star card, and this is the energy between you. Like, you both know that there is mass potential in this connection, but you also are tired of surprises. You're like, no surprises. You know that this is coming. You know the balance is coming. The things that you're manifesting are coming. And again, I am feeling this moving into eclipse season of this situation alchemizing. But it's a past tense manifestation that's coming through for you guys. At the heart of the energy, it can be people around you not doing the work. And again, it can be an ex-person. It can be you reflecting back. And I do feel this story is coming through in two ways. Now, there's some of you who are relating back to a previous connection who you're tuning into as this person. And you're thinking of how it used to be, but how you want it to be, and if it can ever be. Others of you are tuning into a very separate individual, and this is somebody that hurts you, and it's triggering and shaping your opinion in this connection, okay? So it's a purge as per se, but it's a release. Some of you might be dealing with an individual that has a karmic energy, and that's hindering you, but you're visually seeing it and you're directly dealing with these frequencies. Again, I'm seeing finances can be hindering the situation, but tuning into it again, people that aren't worthy of having certain things, both parties aren't willing to give. I don't feel this is towards each other. I feel these are both individual energies that's coming through on either side of the fence. So if you're in the connection external to you with subject matters, both individuals are dealing with external situations that is affecting the vibration. It's not affecting you guys, it's affecting you individually on your side of the fence, and you're both actually quite mirroring each other, where you're looking at each other and you can see similar traits. Now, for those of you who have not had communication, it's come through twice, and this can be towards a deep spiritual connection, okay? So your overall energy in relation to, you know, this wish, it can be all of a sudden there is communication from this individual, for those of you not in contact. Synchronicities are going to come through, as well as gossip connected to a past tense energy, not the individual you're in love with. And I do feel both of you are intent on moving away from enemy line and actually moving towards what is in your highest good. I feel that a lot of your plans are connected to next year, even though you're doing the work in the 3D right here, right now. But you have full intent that you're going to get everything into balance for next year. I do feel there's 4 ways this path can go for some of you, but it is feeling 4 scenarios you could be directly dealing with. But you're also getting quite frustrated by it. But I do feel there is external energies at play at the moment that are really hindering you and frustrating you. And definitely in the tribe area, there is a lot of obligations and expectations on you at the moment. Any questions? And as I said, tomorrow morning, which will be in America, it will be your PM around 7. I think it's about 7. I've had to get really good at time conversions over the years because I'm in Perth, WA. Any questions for those of you who are Cancer or cross-watching for Cancer? Any questions? I have a client shortly, so I will have to go. Cool. Thank you for liking the video. I hope it helps. I do feel both of you on the same page. I just feel there's a lot of BS around you guys at the moment and you're really frustrated. You know, if you guys are together, you may be taking it out on each other, but try not to. I do feel you're pretty strong. If you feel inclined to, but you need to know that if you're reaching out, is it because you want to save them or is it because you want to make a statement? You know, whenever you're separate from a person, if you're moving away from the codependent frequency, there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, I'm thinking of you. I hope you're well. Then it's not a question, are you well? Because then it's a requirement and an expectation that they must call you. And that's a different vibration. You know, you may, and I do feel you guys are really in duality at the moment for those of you in a spiritual connection, that you're really thinking of each other, but you've got a lot of 3D crap going on. But do cross-reference between, if you're DF, do not reach out. There's no reason not to. There's absolutely no reason not to. If you've purged, I mean, I'm a divine feminine and I reached out, but there was no ever, I made statements over, hey, I need to hear from you. What are you doing? Why isn't moving? If energetically I tuned into my counterpart, there was one time I knew that he was going through a hard time. I made a statement and I said my thoughts were with him. But other than that, it was detached. This was what someone said to me the other day. And the reality is when you know, this is a general energy read. It's not just twins. But on the subject matter of twins, what you got to understand is there's no perfect time with twin. There's never any perfect time. So 9 times out of 10, when you think about it, because you've gone through that spiritual process and you're walking on the eggshells trying to alchemize the correct time, there's no such thing. If you have to micromanage that factor and have way too much compassion, if there's something of a dire need that you need to address, putting them ahead of you is you have not purged or healed, okay? So if you want to communicate your truth in relation to something, there's nothing wrong with that. You can say, hey, this is my perspective, or my thoughts are with you, or how do I put it? It depends on the subject matter. But again, if you're waiting for the perfect time, there's no such thing as perfect time. And you've got to ask yourself the reasons why. If you have a judgment or an area that you're looking at with your twin and you're saying, but they're in a karmic connection, who are you tuning into? Because 9 times out of 10, the trigger point is your counterpart is with somebody, but have you energetically completely walked away from a past tense energy yourself? Because you may have a backup plan. Okay, if you get a backup plan, you're in the same energy frequency as masculine. If you're thinking, you know, and it's really healthy to get to a point where you feel you will not break and you can be in your own energy and enjoy a high vibrational life and do the things that are great for you. I spent 10 months really working on myself, eating vegetarian, spending quality time with my friends, working on YouTube, loving my home, loving my life, and purging the belief system. And really at the moment what we are moving through is purging belief systems. And I will do the energy update tonight. It should be 8 a.m. your time tomorrow for America. I do get up quite early, so I have clients during the day, but I'll be doing the energy update my time tonight. So that will be in your morning, and the Gemini energy will be done the next morning for me. So it'll be my Monday. Yes, too many things in the head. There's nothing wrong with that. Continue, but it's got to be reciprocal. You know, if they're in that vibration of being open to that, then you keep going with the flow. You be present in that given moment. But if the person isn't investing in you, you must invest in self, because you've got to ask yourself the question, our vibration attracts the same, right? So if you simultaneously are believing if I wait, if I hold space, if I do X, Y, and Z, everything's going to be okay. It's just about time. What haven't I done right? That there could be energetically some sense of a blockage in a belief system you're working through, which is preventing that from alchemizing. So by tuning into your belief systems, by holding that vibration of self-worth, that you have to check in with yourself. Are you ready for a relationship? If you're ready for a relationship, when you tune into your counterpart, does it scare you that could be a potential? And if it does, why does it scare you? Because you should get to a point where you're that detached that you won't break with them, you won't break without them, because you can't break what's broken. Okay? So it's literally coming to a healthy space in your own energy, that because in the beginning stages of a TF journey, it's like they're everything, okay? But you had not prioritized yourself where you were everything. So spending that time really doing that self-work where nobody can ever take that from you. Then you have the world to give, but you give the world of who works with you, who doesn't work with you, especially with this Jupiter energy coming through with the Sagittarian full moon. You will not have time for that BS. You could be quite blunt right now. You'll be like, look, listen, Linda, you're not working with me, I ain't working with you. That's okay, peace out. Not angry, but you could get angry because this energy is very intense at the moment. Yeah, you'd be like, peace out. I mean, my daughter is grating my friggin' nerves to kingdom come. And, you know, I'm quite a traditional parent, not a helicopter parent by any means, but at the same time, the energy is there where it's if people are working with you, but there's also belief systems and paradigms that are changing at the moment. And that is to do with the two moons. My son is a Cancer who has a bad attitude about women because his father, my ex, has filled his head with BS. Or is it something Cancers are going through? Oh, look, Cancers have been for a long time purging the energy of, hi Sula, I love you. Get a nap. I'm like, I do not have time. I'm in my Cancer frequency, getting shit done. I've got Cancer rising, okay? And most of my chart's Cancer as well as Libra. And I have Scorpio in my Venus house, which I've related to my twin. I basically said, look, I'm very family orientated. I'm also very balanced where I do things fair. But at the same time, if you scorn me, I have that Scorpion Venus house. Don't fuck with me. Which it takes a lot to get me there energetically. You don't want to. And I give many warning signs. I'm like, look, you're overstepping the mark. Don't cross that boundary. You do, you're on your own. You know, you don't, okay, given. But at the moment, the energy with the children, they are going through ascension symptoms at the moment. Male energies and female energies. Male energies will be getting a little bit unwell. And that could be anywhere in the world. The same time, the energies of the feminines are really in your masculine frequency, getting way too much done. So you're super tired, you know, you're under the pump. I mean, I get up at 4:45. I'm pretty much going to bed at 9 o'clock at night. I'm sorting 2 houses, having clients. There's a lot going on the collective energetically. So yes, I want to be here for you guys, but I'm balancing my schedule at the moment. But yes, if you're wanting a booking, the link will be below.